What's up, everybody? Chris Bryant here. As usual, I don't have time, so I'm doing this video right before I go to the gym tonight. I wanted to talk today about an article that I read yesterday on tnation.com, and it was kind of frustrating. It rings true, but sometimes you can take it too far. And the article was written by Christian Thibaudeau, who is a well-renowned, well-respected, expert, one of the gurus in the fitness industry for training and nutrition and all that stuff. Mostly training. And he does many articles. This was one of them, in which he claims and lays out all the reasons why you cannot train like an enhanced lifter if you're a natural lifter. And I gotta say, ignorance is bliss, because in the Coliseum I trained massive giant sets for years, and I was pretty damn big, and nobody told me that it was a bad idea to do 25 sets or more of one muscle group, and I had a blast. I loved it. And Christian Thibaudeau goes through all the science, and he's right about everything that he says, but you got to keep in mind that science can't explain everything in the world, everything in the universe. You also want to keep in mind when you're training, even if you're natural, that the human body is the most amazingly adaptive organism that you could possibly think of. It was created with amazing design by a creator to adapt to many challenges, stress factors, all that stuff. So what I'm trying to say is, don't know too much. I can tell you, after I read that article last night, that I went to the gym and I was battling my own conscience for fear of doing too much. Now, the article was all about volume. If you're a natural lifter, you can't do too much volume, because if you do too much volume, too many sets, too many reps, you're mobilizing glycogen, and then that creates cortisol levels, and cortisol destroys muscle, and all this science, all this stuff. And every set I did, now granted, I'm super depleted and tired and no carbs and all this stuff for my show, but I kept being worried, am I doing too much? Am I overtraining? And overtraining is bullshit. It's all bullshit. Train hard. Now granted, I made gains doing giant sets for years. For the first 10 months I was at Coliseum Gym, that's all I did was giant sets for single muscle groups, and I made gains. And you make the muscle higher quality by doing high volume. Okay, now granted, I did make more gains after that 4-year period where I started doing some more heavy lifts and stuff. But what am I looking for? What the hell am I looking for? There we go. But the point is, the way that he describes that natural lifters should train, and the way that the greatest natural lifters have trained, sounds so fucking boring. It's like 4 sets of one muscle group, and you can't do more than maybe 6 sets, and you can't do supersets or trisets or reps of 15 or 20, because then you're just doing way too much, and the body can't recover because it's so weak and pathetic compared to the drug users, right? That's all BS. Your body can adapt and it can change. Where was I going with that? What was my thought process there? Anyway, the point is that I made gains doing high volume. I made gains doing low volume. Oh, the point I was making is that training is supposed to be fun. I love training in the gym, and I love the creativity. The way that he explains and they explain to train is so boring. It's pure straight sets, hardly any volume, only the core main lifts, bench press, squat, deadlift, and maybe side laterals and an overhead press, and it's like no fancy, creative, alternative exercises, because that creates way too much extra volume. And it just sounds so boring. I have tried to train like that and I hate it. It's so boring. I can't do it. I have to do more sets and more volume. So granted, even if you can get bigger or could get bigger, if it's not fun, then why are you doing it? Why even go to the gym and get big in the first place if you hate it, if it's boring, if it's not fun? I love volume. I love the pump that comes from volume. I love the creativity. My favorite style of training is supersets and even trisets. Moral of the story, moral of this discussion is that don't go overboard with the knowledge and the science and all that other stuff. Just go to the gym and train your ass off. If you go too far down the scientific road, you're not going to get the fullness out of your body, out of your potential. You need to train hard. Training hard is more important than training purely 100% by the science. Okay? That's all I got to say. Now I got to get ready to go to the gym. Keep training. See you later.